Hi guys, very excited today in this new episode of mine. I've got Mr. Anant Roongta, who is the managing director of Famous Studios as well as the co-founder of Warehouse 47. He is also the third generation in this business, and it's so nice to him taking out some time to do this candid chat with me. We're going to know a little bit on insights on his journey and a little bit on his personal life as well. So, welcome Anand to this new episode of mine, and I'm so thrilled that you took out some time to do this with me, buddy.
Pleasure to be on this, Sid, and I think it's a brilliant initiative that you've taken, interviewing entrepreneurs and their journeys, and uh, it's an absolute pleasure to be part of this.
So to begin with, Anand, let me know a little bit on your early life. I know you because you were in Campion and you were in Cathedral as well.
Yep,
I don't think everyone knows, but we are fellow Campionites. So that is something nice. And so tell me a
which
little
makes it awesome. Yeah.
yeah, so tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. How did you start, uh, getting into the third generation of one of the most iconic media and entertainment houses, the famous studios. So, it must have been a lot of pressure on your side as well, because carrying on that legacy. So a little bit on that.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I kind of got into work properly in 2009. But 2009 till about 2014, the 5 years that I did spend with Famous Studios at the time, it was not really much fun. The industry was very flat. All the different segments that were in the industry were pretty much flat. There was the ones that we operated in: advertising, film, long format, broadcast. Nothing was really happening there besides the classic agencies or production houses producing content, putting it out, and it was the same ecosystem. There was nothing that was really shaking it up, right?
Okay.
So I just felt at that time it was maybe not the right time for me to be part of that industry. And 2014, actually, a very interesting opportunity came my way. And as you're aware, both of us Campanites, how much we've played sport and we've actually been pushed into playing different kinds of sport. We've always been a very competitive school.
Yes.
So passion is sports has always been one of the major passions for me, and it led to me meeting my cousin brother in Calcutta just over a lunch one day, and I saw what he had set out. He'd already founded this company called Fanatic Sports. With the objective of providing once in a lifetime experiences around sporting, global sporting events to fans. At the time, there was no organized methodology or way by which anyone in India could buy, a ticket for an India-Pakistan game or for anything on those lines. It was all kind of all over the shop, right? And we just kind of got started. I came in as a co-founder, invested some capital, and that's really where my journey began. Um, the whole bug of entrepreneurship really came with the pressure of running a new business. 4 years, it was just brilliant. I think it was one of the best experiences I had, and even today, somewhere there is a bit of a hangover, where that's concerned. But I exited that business in 2018 after servicing many clients, securing rights for major events like the Olympics, Wimbledon, the FIFA World Cup at the time in Russia, and many other major events. ICC obviously was like more of a bread and butter kind of a thing because that was the major seller for us. But the whole experience of starting something on your own and then kind of getting this pat on your back from a customer who says that you really made our dreams come true and everything goes really flawlessly. That's something that I really took back from those 4 years of experience. But at the same time, where entrepreneurship and business and adding value to the community and all is concerned, that really taught me or exposed me to a different dimension. And then 2018, I decided to exit the business because obviously Famous Studios at that time, still has been with our family for 70 plus years.
Yeah.
And my father, who has a very large age gap with me, almost 42 years, He's like, look, I'm not able to really sit here and push myself to take any more risks. So I'd like you to come back. And I think at the time when I decided to come back was the right time, because by then the industry, the media entertainment ecosystem was completely shaken up. There was a whole birth of these massive OTT platforms,
Yeah,
Instagram, and all these big social media companies came in. And it wasn't like today, when you look at the content ecosystem, it's not just the studios that are creating content, even individuals are creating content, right? Because
yeah,
access to technology, filters, blah blah blah, editing tools, everything is now on your phone.
yeah,
So everyone's now a creator, right? And that's kind of spelled a massive opportunity. And I kind of got back and I started deconstructing the legacy business. Obviously, when I came back, it was really hard to jump back into the family business because of the hangover of leaving a sports tourism business, which was a very dreamy business.
yeah,
But I think I put my head down and figured that okay, these are the things I need to work on in this business, in the family business, so it becomes sustainable and it lasts another 100 years.
yeah,
So kind of started picking on certain aspects and started building visions around different parts of the business. So the first thing we did was, I kind of spent time with my existing team to really understand what's really going on in the content ecosystem.
right.
Took about a few months, and then slowly there was this rise of co-working spaces, if you remember at the time.
Yeah,
So what happened with the co-working spaces was that um, at Famous, as you might be aware, it's a fairly large building, and there was a lot of space that was underutilized or not utilized at all. So I thought of this idea that why don't we convert, say, maybe 20, 25,000 square foot of space into co-working,
yeah,
and with the objective of opening it up for the media ecosystem. Because obviously, if one side the industry is growing,
yeah,
there's a ton of people entering the business, agencies, micro agencies, whatever. We were very well positioned at that time to uh, be a catalyst for anyone entering that ecosystem if they physically worked out of that space. So
okay.
you must have heard of the whole terminology of cohorts and
Yeah,
incubators
yeah,
and
yeah,
accelerator programs. I actually made a trip to the UK and one to the US to really understand how it worked there, and I realized that in India there's no such ecosystem for the media entertainment industry, right? There was a lot of fintech, healthcare, all of that
mm,
is going on because there's more of a massy product because it would eventually be used by anyone who has a mobile phone.
yeah,
Um, but when it came to media entertainment, it was an industry that was growing by like 17, 18% CAGR, at the time, 2017, 18 onwards. So I thought, damn, this is a brilliant opportunity. 2019, we created an MOU structure with the British government. We had that entire launch, etc., etc. We signed up with Epic Games at the time. If you're aware, they are the guys who own the Fortnite game property.
yeah,
And they also have a software called Unreal Engine that is used as a gaming engine where you can use the software to create environments, etc., etc. And then they now have become really big in the film and advertising space as well because the quality of output is almost photoreal. You know how we watch animation and VFX films and we don't even know what is shot and what's actually VFX.
right,
So what we the terminology we use in our industry is photorealism. Unreal Engine is at this stage has achieved that to a large degree, and uh, all of that was in place. And 2020 March, COVID came, right?
yeah,
And all of that just was the whole vision was ripped to shreds, and that was a big bummer. It was one of the I'm not going to say that I was the only person who suffered during COVID. The whole world did,
yeah,
but it kind of gets you to think about life in a very different way, right? That
right,
you can plan and you can think as much as you want, but then like a force majeure type of event or something like that goes down,
yeah,
there's no power in the world that can save you from that, right?
yeah,
So, but I think the whole idea was pretty awesome. But when COVID left and people started getting antsy about going back to work, the objective really was to just get the space filled up and recover the capital that we'd invested. And anyway, simultaneously, we had already started investing in other technologies for our production division. We after COVID, a couple of years back, I set up a new facility in another part of Mumbai, Andheri, where we now dedicatedly process content for the long format industry. So last year we were nominated for Best VFX at the Filmfare Awards
Oh,
for our
wow.
work in the movie Animal. Yeah, and just recently we delivered the blockbuster film of the year Kalki, which was
Okay.
with Deepika Padukone, Amitabh Bachchan, and Prabhas. So we've had the opportunity of working on some big blockbuster films, but the thing is with me, I just don't like to settle because I'm pretty extrovert from that point of view. I meet a lot of people. I'm very curious. And a few months back, I realized that one of the big gaping holes, which we have almost got covered, but we've not really officially started it, was in this new business that we've set up called Warehouse 47, which essentially has three objectives. One objective is obviously offering a 360-degree pan India turnkey solution as brand solutions to different companies across industries who are looking to market or activate their products with
Right.
consumers. So anything to do from creating a TV commercial, a digital film, creative concept, as well as on-ground events, activations, product launches. Warehouse 47 offers an end-to-end solution for that. Addition to B2B, we have a B2C division where we are now creating our own experiential, sensorial, and immersive IPs for consumers, which we plan on ticketing out on big platforms like Book My Show, Insider, which is now Zomato Live, um, and also co-curating events with partners who we feel match our value systems and create unique experiences around that for consumers.
Right.
And part of this kind of is what I was thinking is that I want to get back into destination experiences, and destination experiences is something that I really started my entrepreneurial journey with, which was Fanatic, right?
Right.
But this time around, we might not just focus on sport. It could be concerts. It could be you know, um, tying up with the top 50 cocktail bars of the world and creating really high net worth individual experiences, unique experiences for guests who are traveling there or to cities in Europe, America, Australia, wherever. And the third part of what we want to do under Warehouse 47 was the original idea, as I mentioned, when we opened Famous Working Company, our co working space, is to unleash the power of our infrastructure, our technology, our experience for the creative industry through the entire community building platform, right? So we are very seriously looking and considering um, hiring people that could lead that part of the business
Okay.
and really see if there's some kind of an IP or some kind of a tech investment that we or our umbrella of investors can make,
Okay.
so that we really build value for the company as well as you know um, uh, for the industry at large, the ecosystem at large. So
Okay.
yeah, that's where we are right now. There's a lot of back and forth, long work days, trying to find the right fit of people to really build on the vision because um, we are one company out there that is it's a very rare offering of a classic legacy studio business with merging with completely brand new technology. So blending a classic 79-year-old business now to um, working with completely future technology, with blending the old style of producing content with merging it with a agency approach for the future where content is a part, but the way we are distributing and delivering that content is through immersive technology as a simple example. There's so much going on. When we try and explain what we're doing to people, they either are spellbound that wow, how is it that you're doing so much, and sometimes they're like we have absolutely no idea what you're saying because it's so technical. They don't understand that there's a massive merge between the legacy business and with Warehouse 47. So I think it's maybe a teething time. It's time looking at opportunities, and I'm sure in the next few months we'll reach a stage where we'll also be looking at going global. So there are massive aspirations, big objectives to achieve, and massive goals to achieve rather. So yeah, that's what it is like looking like right now.
So, you know what? The way you're talking, the kind of clarity of thought you have, Anant, is fantastic. And it's so wonderful to hear that, and your vision ahead, which is truly, truly, I'm sure you're going to succeed in whatever you do. Not everyone
Hope
knows. I
so.
think this is something very interesting I would like people to know. Famous Studios has a little bit of a unique story with RK Studios as well. So, a little bit on that, if you can just let everyone know, what is the whole thing, how RK Studios and Famous Studios are together, or what was the whole unique story on it?
So, so it's I mean it's pretty unique in the sense that RK Studios never was a studio before, as in they never had a studio facility. But when they opened their offices, it was called RK Studios, and their office was inside Famous Studios.
Okay.
And then they moved out, and they actually then moved to Chembur, where they
Okay.
built the studio. So that's the history between RK and Famous.
Okay. And
Yeah.
and also I want to know a little bit, like what is the kind of the in terms of now the technology is changing, OTT is coming in a really big way. Like probably you and me, if we want to go and watch a flick, we'd rather watch it on OTT in terms of because of time constraints. And also I think the younger generation today, they prefer the Netflix and the Amazon Primes. What is your take on that?
So look, there's multiple things, right? One is OTT gave birth to actors that were always waiting in the fifth or the sixth row. Okay.
Right.
But what the big celebrities did not realize that these guys will act, or the roles that they were offered were so original
Right.
that the general public or the consumer sentiment has moved more towards them because they kind of relate to the stories that these guys are
Yes. Yes.
playing out as characters.
True.
That changed a lot of things. Okay. Number two, OTT gave a lot of other people in our industry ecosystem an opportunity.
Right.
Everyone from a production supervisor to a cinematographer to directors to actors, the whole ecosystem exploded, right? Even for us as a
Yeah.
content services provider where we process content, all of a sudden we're talking to Dolby and to Netflix and we're trying to get certified because they need good studios to finish the content. So it really added a lot of value in terms of the overall investment that came into the industry because Netflix, Amazon, Hotstar, all these guys started investing a bucket load of money in producing content.
Right.
What happened was eventually, where cinemas are concerned, I mean, I can only speak for myself, then I'll talk about the industry. I would definitely still go to the cinema, but only if that film is cinema worthy.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'll give you a classic example Oppenheimer
Right.
or a Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
These films were shot in IMAX, they were made for the cinema.
Right.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Top Gun. I have been since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I could watch Top Gun, the first one, and Maverick over and over again. But the first kind of experience had to be in the theater, right? Especially for Maverick.
Yeah.
And it's just brilliant. Oppenheimer, I had the opportunity of seeing it in Los Angeles at the Chinese theater on a classic IMAX cinema projector. Couldn't get more nostalgic or classic than that. It was just fascinating, the experience, because of the way the Chinese theater is built. It's like how NMACC is today in Bombay, a
Yeah.
slightly older version of that. Okay, the curtains open, the screen comes on, the sound is ludicrous.
Right.
It's just a fascinating experience overall. So for me, I am a film buff. I'm in the industry. I like to learn about how a cinematographer is actually dug deep to get the right shot with the right lighting and whatever, right? But for an average person who is going to watch movie purely as a sense of entertainment, definitely OTT is now pipping cinemas for sure. Okay. Also, the amount of budgets that are now being put into producing film, that also has now come heavily under the radar because last 1 year the box office has been in deep trouble, right? And
Right.
it's simply because people are going to say, like, oh, you know what, is it even worth going, spending 3, 4 hours of your day watching a film when it's anyway going to come on the OTT platform in a month? And people will wait for the right reviews. There's enough social media to troll movies and content now.
Right.
They wait for reviews and then they decide, okay, is it worth my time? Because everyone's busy these days, right?
Yeah.
The next generation is anyway hooked on to snackable content
Yeah,
or reels or whatever you want to call them, right? They get fulfilled their heart's content, literally the content with the
yeah,
content that's available on Insta and maybe YouTube or whatever. That gets them going. So it's really funny, it's really sad. But I mean, even I, like in my circle, I haven't had anyone come and ask me, like, dude, let's go watch a movie. It's been a while since someone even planned that.
okay.
So I'm not sure. I hope it's just a phase and it comes around, because movies are meant to be watched in the cinema. There's no question about it. Okay.
But I think, today's time, Anant, I think the audience have also become really smart. I think the trailers which come out, they have
Hmm.
a clarity of thought that do they want to watch it or not, or they will probably wait for it to come to the OTT. So I think the people in the
Yeah, that's true. That I agree. So you see, in a way, it's a good thing, right? It's important to also rattle the ecosystem of writers, producers, directors, actors, and they should also start respecting that. Look, if the consumer audience is changing, we also have to
yeah,
make an effort in such a way where we make it worthy for the consumer to go.
yeah,
So the problem with the Bollywood side of industry is, um, if a film is costing 100 crores to make and you're using an A-list actor, the actor is taking more than half of that as his own fee. Okay. You're not left with any money to do pre-production,
yeah,
production. The post-production does not look very good. The VFX looks crap, as it has been the case with many films coming out of Bollywood. Simple reason is because by the time it reaches that phase, which is the last part of the filmmaking process, they don't have the money.
right,
Okay. Or they'll save money and say, Arey, I have to spend 20 crores more in P&A. Yeah. So the point is, you can spend as much money as you want in P&A, but if you're going to make a crap film, people are not going to watch it.
yeah,
So you might as well save that P&A money,
yeah,
spend it on actually processing the film in a nicer way,
yeah,
and then hope to God it does well. So I think the consumers rather, they've given enough and more indications that stop showing us crap,
yeah,
right? And now what's happening is, as per my understanding, I know a couple of big lawyers from the industry. A lot of the OTT platforms are now going back to producers, or the distributors are going back to the producers, and they're renegotiating deals.
got it. Okay,
Because if they thought they would make X, they're probably going to now make X minus 50%.
yeah, got it.
So there's the industry now is in a phase where it's trying to figure itself out, trying to figure out revenue models. What content should I make? What should I not make? So it's a bit of a seesaw right now.
Got it.
But on the flip side, I mean, on the other side, what's really picking up is the live experiences space,
Yeah,
and people wanting to experience storytelling through new mediums like immersive installations, immersive museums,
got it.
where it's a day out. You go to a museum, interactive displays, you kind of enjoy a full immersive experience. You get out, you sit in a nice cafe, have a cup of coffee and a cake, and you go home, you learn something and you go home, right? So things are changing.
Okay,
And at the end of the day, if a family has 3-4 hours to spare on a Sunday, either they choose to go to the cinema, or they go to a museum like experience, or they go for a concert
right.
for entertainment, or they go for lunch or dinner, right? So yeah, that's how things are moving. Okay. Everyone is like watching with bated breath. And on the other side is where the post production, VFX, content processing industry is. That's also rapidly changing because tech is moving too fast. And
Right.
AI is also now slowly going to create an impact. Not in a negative way. It will create an impact as a catalyst to deliver content faster. But it will only turn out to be negative if artists who are in the industry don't embrace AI and learn how to use AI as a more of a catalyst to um, improve their efficiency. So that's what's really going on right now.
Cool. So now I come to my next segment, which is going to be a little more of a light and a fun segment. It's going to be my
Cool.
rapid fire round. So it's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be quick answers from your side to know you a little more personally. So
sure.
are you ready? We can start then.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
ready, man.
so what is your favorite movie, an all-time movie which you can watch 7 days a week?
The original Top Gun.
Okay. Your favorite genre of music?
Classic rock.
Okay. Your favorite song which you can keep humming to, any time of the day?
So there's actually quite a few, but the one that hums a lot in my head is Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins.
Your
Yeah.
your secret crush you'd want to take on a date?
Oh, oh man. I'm sure you get this a lot, but right now it would probably be, um, dude. I would say Samantha.
Okay. Samantha
Yeah,
what? Samantha.
Samantha Prabhu Akineni.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. What is your go-to snack? Something like the food which you can nibble on all the time.
nibble on, dude. Anything which starts and ends with paneer.
Okay. Your favorite cocktail?
Oh, okay. So there's two, but I would say Negroni,
Okay.
old classic Negroni.
Okay. And are you a sweet or a savory person?
Sweet man for sure, but I try to avoid as much as I can. But yeah, sweet for sure.
And what is your favorite guilty pleasure?
Favorite guilty pleasure. Wait, you talking about food or you talking about something else?
Food.
Oh, I would say the milk chocolate from Tony's, which is a popular brand out of the Netherlands. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
It's the best.
And according to you, the one main difference between the millennials and Gen Zs of today?
Oh man, work-life balance
Okay.
and this whole thing of the new generation first thinking about when they're going to get a break before they actually start working. It's a massive problem, and it's not something that is going to save the world from what it's getting into. I
Mhm.
think that's the biggest difference, right? I think everything else, the next generation will 100% do better than us, right? But that one quote that I've always believed in, which I remember from Sir Alex Ferguson, United's manager, he used to, ex manager, sorry, he used to keep saying that hard work is the most important skill that you could have,
Yeah.
right? And I don't see that in abundance with the next generation. I see it in my generation. I do not see it in the next generation. They want everything on a plate. And they feel that if we are not, they really, they feel they get insulted very quickly when they don't really understand that it's being said for their own benefit. They just leave and they think that they'll get an opportunity somewhere else. And
Yeah.
if that's the case, so be it. It's up to them. But yeah, this is a major difference.
All right, we come to an end of the episode. Anant, it was such a pleasure having this chat with you. Yeah, it's really inspired me a lot, and the kind of work you're doing, it's incredible. And hope to see you soon in Bombay when I'm there next.
100% said we should catch up over a nice camping drink or
Yeah,
dinner.
yeah, it'll be
And
nostalgic as
yes,
well.
let
If
us
you
know when you're
ever
in
if you
town.
ever make a trip to Calcutta, please do reach out. It'll be nice to connect.
Calcutta is actually home. I was born there.
Okay.
I have four of my family members stay, a lot of my family members staying there. And I used to come to Calcutta a lot till 2018 when I was with Fnatic because my cousin is was based out of Calcutta at the time. So I used to be there every month.